All right, we are live. Welcome to Beastly Thoughts, episode 150. 150.
Woo, baby.
A lot of goddamn episodes, guys. That is a lot of episodes.
This is an important episode, guys. This really is an important episode. My God. 150 episodes, Briar, since the day that you and I talked in that black cave with no lighting. And it was just, wow. You had to have been there.
The
Robbie.
first episodes of Beastly Thoughts were done on game capturing a Skype conversation off an Xbox One.
Oh,
that was even before I was on the show, man. Yeah. That was a long time ago.
And on top of that, Robbie, that was before I was privy to the information that lighting actually existed. So I sat next to my living room window hoping the sun wouldn't go down. And unfortunately, it did. Briar remembers. He said, wow, I've never seen a black guy get blacker as I talked to him. I mean, over the last 30 minutes, your blackness has gone up about 5 levels. All I see is eyes.
It's like a dimmer switch on a light switch. Beastly's just like moving that switch down. I get blacker and blacker.
The slider was just moving throughout that episode. And the funny thing was, I was noticing it during that very second episode of Beastly Thoughts. I was like, holy shit, I know I'm not this black. All I see is my eyes. What's happening? 150 episodes. Thank you guys so much for being here with us. Very special moment. And thank you all for being a part of it. Jesus, 150 episodes.
Thank you so much. It doesn't even feel like that long to me. Not even.
Yeah,
it does it.
I don't know how many episodes Robbie's been here, but I want to say at least 100 episodes.
I've been here just about 3 years now. I know that. It's been just around 3 years now this month. It just doesn't even feel like it. It's amazing. It really is incredible.
And for the people who are new to watching this show on Twitch, Robbie...
We're sorry.
Sorry, let's start with the apology first. We're sorry you watch us every week for this horrible, horrible show. We're just a train wreck.
I met Robbie playing Call of Duty Ghosts, and we were playing the new DLC with Michael Myers. And Robbie was in there talking, and he said, "Are you the Beastly Gamer?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm Beastly Gamer." And he actually mentioned Briar and some of the guys who did the show back then. And I was like, "Oh, you actually know me and these clowns?"
I was a huge fan. Yeah,
I couldn't believe it. He asked, could he, meet Briar and some of the other guys, and he ended up being a perfect fit for the show. Yeah. And things have not been better since.
What a disappointment that ended up being, huh, Robbie?
Not what I hoped. Sure, if you want to go that way.
Cool when he's not 27.
And then you start.
In reality, he's kind of a dick.
These guys are kind of jerks to me. Yeah, it's like, I don't know.
All the Canadian jokes, man. It's just like America.
I just can't win.
Yeah. Yo, we got a lot to talk about today. I want to talk about what I've been playing. I want to hear what you guys have been playing. Why don't we start off with Gary, though, because he's got fancy new hardware, and I'm always ready to nerd out about new stuff.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, I bought some toys this week. It's been fantastic. I often get the chance to buy some. So this week we've got some coverage of the NVIDIA Shield tablet, for people that are interested. But before we get into that, I'm going to cover off one PC game and one VR experience, if you guys don't mind. Promised last week on the show that we would cover off PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, PUBG. So I spent some time in that, put about 25, maybe 30 hours into PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. So in the past 6 months, as you guys are probably aware, survival games have just, Battle Royale survival games have absolutely spiked in terms of popularity. So H1Z1's gone from 8,000 concurrent players to somewhere in the region of between 50 to 100,000 daily. So it's, real growth in that sector, partly due to their streamability on Twitch and just partly because they're a great thing to hop into, and you never know if a round's going to go the distance or you're going to get shot in the back the second you jump out of the plane. But this is a beefed up H1Z1. It's come from Brendan Green, who's the guy behind the DayZ mod of Arma 2, which was one of the first popular games. It takes everything that H1Z1 does and just amps it up. Better graphics, more guns, more variety, bigger and more diverse maps. I say map, but there's lots of different islands in the map. There's more dynamism to it, so there's airstrikes. Effectively, the game is 100 people dropped from various aircrafts that come in from different sides of the map, and you have to be the last guy standing out of 100 on this map. Played it, loved it. It's early access though, so there are some system issues. There's some optimization to be done.
It's buggy, and the netcode is pretty rough from what I've seen too. Hit detection is a little off. Yeah,
that's always my problem with these games. Is they look so promising. DayZ,
H1Z1.
H1Z1. They all look so fun.
They
and
never
so
get finished.
And nobody ever finishes these fucking things.
Right, they're always in beta.
They take their money and they run with them, Brian. That's why. They get tons of people who are early adopters who jump in the ground floor and they say, wow, we just made tons of loot. There's no reason to finish it. Just let them play it the way it is, and they never finish the game.
Yeah.
So with PUBG, I think it might buck the curve on that one. I mean, it's $25 to $30 now if you want to go and pick it up. So it's almost full price as is. It's getting huge amounts of support. We're talking 3 to 4 patches a month. There's a lot of interest in it because the esports scene are picking it up and people are wanting to, play it competitively, get teams together. So the biggest streamers are using it as their main game. People like Summit, Lyric are playing this daily.
It's doing very well on Twitch. For sure.
Oh, it's huge, and it looks awesome.
Yeah, it's a great game to try out. I'd say if you're thinking about picking it up and you've got $25 and want something really fun to play that's not going to be a huge open world game that's going to suck 100 hours out of you, pick it up, try it. I'm sure if you buy it on Steam, you can always return it if you don't like it after a few hours.
Yeah.
So,
that's a good point.
Totally.
The nice thing about these games too is that you can jump in if you got like 20 minutes, half an hour to, you just want to do something quick. You don't need to sit there for a 4-hour gaming session to get something out of a game like this. And I like that. I used to like that about Call of Duty when I played a lot of that.
When you liked it?
When I liked it, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the only
you just
thing,
jump in and play for a while.
I completely agree. And the only thing that I'd say that kind of echoes that and tempers the experience if you're looking to get something with longevity is that this game's doing very well on Twitch because it's the perfect format for presentation. So if you are a streamer, you've got a high stakes situation, which is why the Division Survival did so well. This is a finite length of game. People can tune in and watch you and support you. They never know how the game's going to go. If you're a solo player that's just playing on your own without an audience, I found that it started to become a bit tiresome after playing it for 1 or 2 hours in one sort of solid sitting.
Games like this too, I think they do real well as team-based games. If you got a friend or two
you have
to jump
to,
in with, it's so much more fun because the dynamic of working together to solve a problem, whether it be an enemy or looting a building or whatever you're doing, but also just the having a friend to just kind of make fun of you when you do something stupid and to do the same to him, and just like it's the perfect kind of game for teamwork but also having a good time while you're doing it. In Destiny, similar to how Destiny does.
Destiny, I think it's totally paramount that you have someone that to play with. If you don't, it really becomes more of a chore than anything else. And I found that in games like this, games like DayZ, it only worked when I had my wife with me. If I was just in the world by myself on my PC, running around doing things, I lacked that enthusiasm to go do it because there was no one who I knew to experience it with. So these type of games, these type of worlds, I think that you need to have someone who to be in that game with you.
How's the UI and all that stuff, Gary? Is it pretty intuitive, pretty solid? Is it buggy at all?
I mean, Robbie might have some views on the UI as well, but from my perspective, it looks pretty solid. It's easy enough. Sometimes it's difficult from netcode perspective, as Robbie said, to pick things up. Sometimes you'll pick up 4 or 5 times to pick this thing up. That's not the UI, that's just the netcode. It is being optimized. There's also some intentional awkwardness to the UI because there has to be a conscious decision. If you're putting on a bandage, you need to come out the action to do it. If you're trying to load a clip onto your gun, they want you to have to make that decision. You're vulnerable at all times in that arena. So it's functional, but I think it's intentionally over-engineered to make it a little bit cumbersome. But all I'd say is if you've got the money and you want something that's fun to pick up and play, and you've got a beast of a PC because it is a hog on the requirements, then pick it up. Yeah, very much so. I mean, 9 series card if you want to play on anything other than the low.
Really? That's
9 series GTX. Yeah.
I would like to see somebody make something like this in VR. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Man, that'd be crazy.
You actually reload your weapons like you would in Onward, where it's like a realistic reload animation. And when you bandage yourself, you've got to actually wrap the bandage around the wounded part. That'd be a lot of fun. Running around.
Oh, yeah, that'd be crazy, man.
Would be cool.
I mean, unless you get shot in the leg, because you look kind of crazy in the living room on the recliner, sticking your leg up in the air. And grabbing your controller and going around your thigh over and over again. But yeah, I think that'd be awesome. I mean,
what's he watching him?
that was my
We don't want to know.
That was my main PC game. VR, I'll very quickly brush over this one because I didn't really do much VR. I did one thing because I like to have at least one VR experience on the show each week. It's actually the Hawaiian Islands. It's a free demo, I say demo experience put out there by the Hawaiian Tourist Board. It's a collection of 360 videos and a rendered paraglide through all of the different Hawaiian islands. You choose where you want to go. The reason that I've cited it as something that's worth trying is it's on Samsung Gear VR, it's on Oculus, it's on Vive, it's across the board. And it's actually something that's really well executed. It's a great example of what the future of tourism is going to look like. And if you want something, I've been on a lot of these sort of stand on the rails experiences, 360 ones, and this has had the funding to make it function really, really well. So if you want a nice break to Hawaii, you want to see what tourism in the future is going to look like, check out the Hawaiian Islands. It's on phone VR as well. So yeah, try it out.
Save me a plane ticket. You just step into VR, maybe turn on a heat lamp in the office. Maybe a fan with like a little water spritzer for that ocean breeze.
It's nice. I mean, what can I say?
How can you be totally sure it's water, Briar? You just don't know.
I mean, it's something. I like to put on at least one thing that everyone can access in VR that's worth trying. So that was that. But the thing that, sorry, BC.
Oh no, I was just asking. I heard you go through lots of different platforms. It's not for PSVR though, is it?
No, it's one of those open source gallery apps, I guess they call them. Sponsored by the Hawaiian Tourist Board. I don't think Sony would want an advertisement on their platform, really. So,
gotcha.
That's probably why it's not there. The thing that I've been most excited about and spent most of my time with, the guys have seen me endlessly sending the messages about it, and they've been saying, "Leave me alone. I have a life. Stop texting me." Is this little baby here, which is the NVIDIA Shield tablet K1. Now, for anyone that doesn't know, this is part of the NVIDIA Shield range. They did a portable clamshell gaming console. They did the tablet, and they do a streaming media box for the PC. So this is a standard Android tablet, 8-inch, NVIDIA Tegra K1 chip. It's got a 1920 by 1200 resolution, can output 4K at 30 hertz with a mini HDMI out. Effectively, everything you'd want.
Seriously?
So you can use this as a media box. You can use Netflix in 4K from it to a TV. It's capable of streaming it that way. It's everything that you'd want from an 8-inch tablet, and it comes in at $150, brand new.
What?
That's unbelievable.
Wow.
Oh my God.
I'm absolutely shocked that this isn't more wide known.
Mainstream?
So it's an Android tablet? It's like a real Android tablet?
A completely legitimate real Android tablet running Nougat 7.0.
Plus it has all the game features.
Which I'll get into now. That's its party trick. So effectively, this is pretty much a standard Android tablet running 7.0. So it's not been, it was actually released in late 2015. So these specs were cutting edge back then. Right now, they're sort of middle of the market. But it's $150 and it's a 7.0 Android operating system.
You can't complain with that price.
This gentleman is effectively the Nintendo Switch's daddy with a big swinging dick, is the way that I describe it.
Just like me.
There we go. First dick joke.
Pretty much so. I mean, comparing them to before I go into its party trick, which is the game stream system, if you compare them to the Switch, it's actually a pretty similar size proposition. You've not got anything that's massively. So if you're used to holding the Switch, this will be right at home just with a slightly larger screen. What this does is take advantage of the GeForce graphics cards, GeForce Game Stream, GeForce Now, and GeForce Play ecosystems. So with Game Stream, if you're familiar with the PS4's remote play system, this is very, very similar, but for a PC with zero latency, the Xbox One controller, and 60 frames per second at 1080p.
God damn.
Does it come with the controller? I'm on their website right now. I see that it looks
You've
like,
already sold it. Hey, look, Gary,
it looks like it comes with that NVIDIA controller that they kind of just re-released with the newest version of the Shield box for the TV.
No, so if you buy the media box, which is a slightly more expensive proposition, doesn't have a screen, it's effectively like the PS Vita.
Right.
That will come with the controller. But the Shield controller is effectively a
Xbox
Bluetooth.
Controller.
Well, it's an Xbox controller with horizontal thumbsticks rather than the offset thumbsticks. So if you've got an Xbox One controller, you do not need to purchase. It operates with 0 latency. You do not need to purchase an additional controller for this. What's interesting to me is that using 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, which you have to have if you want 1080p 60 frames per second, I can access any game that I've got on my PC. And if they're not supported natively, you can add them yourself manually. Every single one of them will work on my tablet with 0 latency, 0 dropout at 60 frames per second.
Yeah. What do? You add them into the GeForce experience, and then it runs from there?
Precisely so. So I access them on my tablet through a UI. I say I want to play Mass Effect Andromeda on my tablet. The tablet boots it up. I've then got it sitting there attached to, on my lap or on a ledge or whatever else I want it on. I've got the controller in my hand, and I can play Mass Effect for around 4 hours at 1080p, 60 frames, PC Ultra settings. Now, I don't know any other portable device that can do that for $150.
That's unreal.
So there's no like the Switch. There's no built-on controller option. So you always have to have it like on a kickstand and then use an Xbox One controller. Like if you're going to be using it portable, but you can plug it into your TV and get a 4K 30 frames per second, right?
Yes. So it can output 4K 30 or 1080p 60. They're the two variants because it uses a mini HDMI to HDMI 2.0. Which struggles to do it. It doesn't have the HDCP, I think 2.2 that it needs to run 64K. But you can actually buy third-party peripherals that will strap the Xbox controller to a tablet. I just can't promote them because it's not part of the product. It's a third-party peripheral that you want to buy. For me, it's the fact that I can play The Witcher 3 in PC Ultra at 60 frames per second when I'm around. Mass Effect works really well as a portable game, more so than a PC game. I've got that switch gamification of being able to pick up a game, play it on the go. I can save the game and stop the game from my tablet. I can play from different Wi-Fi hotspots, providing it's 5 gigahertz and consistent, and my desktop's on at home. That's all game stream. Then there's a second really great option, which is for people that are less of a hardcore gamer or people that just want a secondary streaming option, and this is GeForce Now. This is the Netflix of gaming. So it's $8 or $9 a month. And what that will do is let you stream from a GeForce GTX 1080 in the cloud onto the tablet. And the tablet can be connected to your TV or play natively on the screen. So you can play any game that's in their library indefinitely, much like PlayStation Now or Netflix, on a tablet, 1080p.
Did you give this a shot?
60. I did because the first month is free, and they've got some good titles on there. It's a limited library.
I've tried systems like this, Gary, and I was very unhappy with them just because of the latency in the controls. Right? It's because the video is getting streamed from this server farm, and then my inputs have to go back to that server farm, and then that video signal with my input translated has to come back to me. Right? And for some games, it didn't make too much of a difference. I would imagine for like a game like Witcher 3, it wouldn't be too bad.
Some of them it was
for
horrible,
anything
though.
with timing-based, anything, it was awful.
Yeah.
So this has approximate console-based latency. So very, very little latency. It's not, 144 hertz tick rate. It's console tick rate, so maybe 30 hertz tick rate on a 60 hertz game. It's imperceptible latency. And the reason that they achieve this is because NVIDIA are quite unapologetic in saying that you need a 50 meg consistent download speed to support this connection. So if you don't have 50 meg down, the service isn't for you. But for someone who doesn't want to shell out a lot of money purchasing a PS4 or a GTX PC, and they just want to play the odd game here and there, and they've got $10 a month, and they want a tablet anyway, buy this. You've got a media streaming box.
That's an incredible value, actually. If it works as good as you say, I think I might pick one of these up because I've tried things like this and had a lot of issues with them. I do have a box in my living room, a Steam box. I don't even know what it's called anymore. But to get that thing working on Wi-Fi, nah, it's not working. It's got to be wired. So I'm surprised that you're able to get a tablet to work as well as you're saying. Like, I have decent Wi-Fi. I have a Nighthawk router that cost me a fair good amount of money.
I'm on the X6 AC 3200 Nighthawk, so if that's the same thing you've got. I don't
remember that.
But, yeah.
Mine's a few years old now. I think it's an AC 1900 actually, so it's a few years old now. But it does have 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. But I've tried things like the PlayStation Vita using remote play off of PlayStation 4. The PlayStation 4 was hardwired to the router, but the PlayStation Vita obviously can't be. I tried the PlayStation Vita TV, again, over Wi-Fi. It just was not a satisfactory game experience. It did work okay if it was wired, both ends. But yeah, I'm glad to hear that this thing works better over Wi-Fi. But it may be your mileage may vary depending on how good your Wi-Fi is too.
Right, and how good the signal strength is too. That's a big
To alleviate some Vita concerns there, I've also got the Vita Slim and the original. I tried both of those, and I tried my mobile phone on a 5 gigahertz connection, remote playing that. All of them broke up at 1080p 60. You know, when you get the little PS4 connection box and it kind of stutters and pixelates.
Yeah.
All of them broke up on a PS4 signal. For some reason, the PC one holds it steady. It could be that the source that it's streaming from has a stronger upload. A PC may be able to render better. I mean, my GPU load is only 60% at 1080p Ultra, 60. So, you know, mileage may well vary. But my takeaway from this is if you've got a 9, it actually works on anyone with a 650 or above graphics card. But if you've got a 9 series or above GeForce, don't even think about it. This is 2015 tech, so it's starting to go out of production in places. It's difficult to find. The second-hand ones are selling for more than the new ones because you can't find the new ones. So, you know, Amazon have got tertiary market ones on there for about $180, $190. These things are really desirable pieces of hardware. And the final note that I told you guys, but the viewers may be interested in, is the reason that we won't see a successor to this tablet is unfortunately because of the partnership that NVIDIA have signed with Nintendo. So the Nintendo Switch uses the Tegra X1 chip, which is the successor to the K1 chip used in this tablet. And NVIDIA have almost said in a gentleman's agreement that they won't be pursuing any revisions of the tablet because it will be a direct competitor to the Switch. Nintendo Switch.
It's so not, though. Like, if you really think about it, I mean, this thing is an accessory for a PC. Right?
Yeah, it's totally. I think it's different enough too. Yeah.
It is, but
with the game streaming service, you technically don't have to have a PC.
No, it's set up so that the media box, which they're promoting now, is designed to be a living room box that's a 4K media player that also is great at games and gives you a real controller. This thing plays all the Android games, so if you're playing Half-Life 2 or Borderlands 2, the Android versions, all of those play on it natively with no need to be connected to the internet. So it's got capability to play games in isolation as well as the ones that you stream. It's just, I can't help evangelize about it. I promise you, GeForce are not paying me. I wish they would. But for $150, I really want to stream
NVIDIA. If you're listening, you know, sponsorship, just hint.
We'll just leave it at this, Gary. By the first 3 minutes, Briar was already at the website. So I think that you're doing pretty good.
I've been at the website ever since he started talking about it in our Twitter
on
chat.
Twitter.
Yeah. I've been hovering on that website all week.
Yeah,
Gary costs me a lot of money. If you guys don't know, Gary, since I've known him,
Gary's an
he has
expensive
cost
man.
me a lot of money.
Sure has.
And I'm working on a Zim 4 at the moment. So if anyone watching this wants to tweet Briar pictures of Zim 4, then that works too.
Jeez, man.
Beastly, what have you been playing?
I've been playing what I've been, I guess, kind of getting back into. I've got an old backlog that I've been kind of staying away from, and I've recently got into Final Fantasy 15.
Oh, hey.
Ooh, hey, there you go.
Yeah, let's hear all
Fantasy
that.
Fan
Yes,
right here.
let's get it all out of the way.
There you go.
I've only gotten probably about 4 to 5 hours in, but I'm loving it. God, it really kind of pisses me off. I had the game as long as I did. Horizon came along, and I stepped away. I kind of stepped away from Resident Evil 7 to play Horizon, so now Resident Evil has to be played as well. I got to finish that. But it really is the dream that I've had for years of actually playing, I guess what we would consider a CG quality Final Fantasy game. That was kind of the dream back in the days of Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9, to actually play a game that looked as good as the CG, and now we're actually there. I've always stayed away from kind of the Let's Plays and people, you know, revealing videos. I didn't want to know anything about the story of Noctis and what was going on, other than the kind of prequel information that was revealed during the early, I guess, trailer playable teasers that was released by Square. But yeah, it really is amazing. It's a beautiful game. I think I'm going to love it a lot. Me and my wife started playing it together, side by side on 4K TVs. It's one of the best looking games I've played in a long time. It's probably the best looking RPG I played, exclusive traditional Japanese type of RPG, and it's a beautiful game. I haven't gotten far enough to really give it my beastly gamer stamp of approval, but I'm very happy that I started it. It's a beautiful game. I think that the way that you fight enemies versus the old school way of turn-based attacks is really incredible. It's a huge open world, something that you would just never expect them to be able to render at this quality. And
have they made any changes to this game since it came out? Because when it came out, there were some significant complaints.
Oh, well, I didn't play when it first came out, Briar. So I mean, I've been waiting.
Following it at all?
No, I stayed away from it. I think I bought the game probably about 3 months ago, guys. And when I bought it, I didn't play it at all because something else was kind of at the front of the burner at that time. But as time progressed and as things moved to the side, like Horizon Zero Dawn, we talked about it. I talked to my significant other, and she said, well, the game that we need to play now is Final Fantasy 15. We both been wanting to play it, and we both started it. It's a beautiful game. The game looks as good as a cutscene, and that's a good start. And the story looks like it's very deep and involved. The issue is, right, I got 5 kids. I got all this stuff going on, and I'm like, oh, my God, this is going to take 100 hours. So put that with my career and my family. We're talking 500 hours. Because it's really hard for me to just come home, walk past a newborn, walk past 2 little girls, and go straight to Final Fantasy. So I've really had to, consider jumping into this. And I think I'm going to
see. This is where you put the kids up for sale on eBay. Solve all your problems. Easy way out.
That's what Briar would have done. He would have done it a long time ago.
Let's be honest, basically.
You're looking short term there, Robbie. What you got to do is you got to get them out working. Bringing in that money on a day-to-day basis.
I mean,
if you kill the cow for the meat, Robbie, you eat for a day or a week or a month. If you milk that cow every day, man, you eat for years.
There you go. That's a very well said.
Basically, man. Yeah. Be honest. You got as far as Cindy, didn't you? And then that was where your gameplay ended. You just saw.
No, I
just so intense, and it's like
saw Cindy in the shorts and was like, "Yeah, this is where this is my game now."
Cindy's pretty nice. I like this.
Cindy's fun to look at, but I can't stand her voice. Sorry, but yeah, I mean, I've gotten considerably past that. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty. It's an incredible game. I think I'm going to stick with it and enjoy it and play it. I also played some more Tomb Raider because I wanted to finish that game. I played it on the PC, and I'm not a PC player, so it's really hard for me to
chat right now. Glad a real Final Fantasy fan can finally get around to playing it.
You're welcome. I played some not Final Fantasy, some Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and I've really been enjoying that on my PS4 Pro and experiencing it almost at PC levels on the Pro. And I'm just trying to delegate and jump back and forth between the two. It's been a little hard. I'm not 15 anymore. When you're close to 40, you got a big family. You got to kind of pick your shots. But I promise I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to do it. Okay? I promise. I am a Final Fantasy fan. Yeah. Thank you. Did you beat this game, Robbie?
Have you put any more time into Zelda? Basically, I was wondering if you just kind of bounced off of Zelda.
No, I haven't played any more Ghost Recon. Me and my wife talked about
Ghost Recon.
My wife and I talked about it. Look, my wife is farther than I am in The Legend of Zelda now because she didn't know that multiple accounts can be created on the Switch. And when she created her account, somehow mine. It's such a nefarious.
I remember actually as soon as you started telling that story, I remember you tweeted about
it. So evil. All right, so when my wife created her account, somehow my account got deleted from my Switch. Totally. Completely gone. And I'd put probably close to 15 hours into the game. I had to completely restart. And of course, Gary had to call me out and say, "What, 3 hearts? What the fuck are you doing, Beasley?" I was like, my shit got deleted. God damn it, Gary. Give me a break. Okay?
I like the fact Beasley didn't want to tell us that. He sent us a nice little screenshot to the group and was like, "Hey guys, look at me at work playing Zelda." Looked at it and was like,
"Yeah, look how far I am, Zelda guy."
3 hearts in a linen shirt. The shit have you been doing for 4 hours?
This is a nightmare, okay?
It was really hard to get out of that first chamber, the res chamber. Really tough puzzle.
Yeah.
So difficult.
And that's my week of gaming. But I'm guessing for the next week, I'm going to be doing Final Fantasy 15 so that I can get this monkey off my back. That is my friends and family calling me a Final Fantasy fan. I'm so sick of that shit.
Bobby, what have you been up to?
We're not sick of it. It's still so fun.
I'm sure you're not, Bobby.
This week I've been playing a bit of Destiny. I have been kind of casually getting back into it. And while I'm enjoying it, I just have the feeling I'm so ready for Destiny 2 at this point. I really am. Like, Destiny's a fantastic game. One of my favorite shooters of all time.
Have you been doing the newly redone raids? Or the revamped
No,
raids?
I haven't even played any of them yet. I just haven't gotten anyone into that. But I've been enjoying the game, just been playing it, but I really am ready for Destiny 2 at this point. Cannot wait for that game to come out.
Well, what are you doing? If you're not doing the raids, I'm a little curious.
Been doing strikes, been doing the story playlist, been doing some Crucible. That's been about it. Those three things. So
okay,
yeah.
I like that story playlist. I have one problem with it. They added this story playlist with Age of Triumph where they added like Nightfall modifiers and stuff to story missions, which kind of makes them a little bit more fun, a little more challenging.
Yeah.
But it's not actually a playlist. Like, you go into it and it just boots you out to the director.
That's annoying. Yeah, I agree.
As
I wish it would
opposed
just
to the
keep
strike
going.
playlist, which will just load you into the next strike, which I would prefer.
Me too.
It's a little weird. I wonder if it's a bug, actually. I wonder if they'll fix it in an update.
Yeah, they could if enough people ask about it, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I've been playing a lot of Destiny 2. Vault of Glass, the revamped version.
You said
of
Destiny
Vault of Glass.
2?
Destiny 2?
Yeah, I've been as well.
On top of that.
Streamer
As well.
perks.
I was
Streamer
about to say,
perks.
you've been playing Destiny 2?
Oh my god.
I've been
Holy
playing a lot of
God.
Destiny as well.
Thank you for
the Vault of
clarifying.
Glass came back. You know, the newly revamped Vault of Glass came back, and it has really reignited a lot of people's interest in raiding and PvE in Destiny, which has been a lot of fun to see and be a part of. They changed, or they added some challenge modes to the Vault of Glass to mix things up a little bit. One of them is in the Templar section, and the second one is versus Atheon at the very end. And the Atheon one is really interesting because everybody has to be on their game and everybody has to be doing stuff all at once, and it just makes for a really fun and cooperative environment, which I've been really enjoying. All the new gear that's coming out of the new raids too is really fun to get. They give you, it's nice because they give you the exotic weapons pretty much right away, right? Like your first few times through the raid, you're gonna have every exotic weapon, but the legendary stuff and the armor is much harder to get. It's lower stream coming, so there's a reason to go back, and like this week there was a reason to go back and do Crota's End, which was the featured raid last week. Even though there's no challenge modes, you can still get legendary gear out of it. And next week when Kingsfall releases, there'll still be a reason to go back and do Vault of Glass from this week and Crota's End. And then when Wrath of the Machine comes out, like there's going to be basically 4 active raids that you're just going to want to cycle through to get all the available loot out of, which is insane. Like if you just think about it, like an hours in Destiny tally to do all of the things that you could do on a weekly basis is going to be pretty much unattainable for people who put 8 hours a day into Destiny.
Yeah.
So it's been fun. I'm really enjoying the Age of Triumph. It's a better update to the game than I really expected it to be coming into it. Like I expected to be happy to go back into those raids, but I'm actually having more fun with it than I expected to. Partially just because so many people want to do raids again. That's made it a lot of fun. Me and Gary ran a raid on Friday. That was a lot of fun. It's just been a lot of fun. I am definitely looking forward to Destiny 2, though, Robbie. Like, that is, Destiny's been around for 3 years, and it's definitely time for the sequel.
Is it going to be hard
100%.
at all for you, Briar? Do you think to walk away from Destiny, all the things that you've done there, and all the worlds of you that you'd explore? Do you think it'll be hard for you to just walk away clean and go to Destiny 2? No,
because this is a sequel. Man.
I can't wait, man. I can't wait.
It's gonna be better, bigger and better. Yeah.
The gameplay reveals on May 18th, and I'm really looking forward to that.
It's like your wife that you love getting a boob job. Okay, got you. Completely.
Sure.
understand.
Okay.
I mean,
Fantastic.
really, you still love her, but you probably love her a little bit more. Something
Titties? Yeah.
new.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, I know. Those things
All right,
just can't
we
get out
got
of your
some
face.
big
They're
news
everywhere.
this week, and I really want to talk about it. So, I hope
Robbie.
the Scorpio is at the top of the list because
Robbie, of
goddamn,
course he didn't
that
do that.
news is hot.
Fine, I'll go to
Hang on,
Scorpio first.
I want to talk
I'll
about
give you
Saints Row developer Volition. Can we get to the real news here?
Scorpio.
I'm just ordering it from when it came out to. I hate you guys.
Gary is a fool, man.
It's just an order, you assholes. Shut up. We'll go Scorpio first, though. I'm totally into that. So, you guys ready?
All right, we'll get through
I
it
am
quickly and
ready,
get to the
Robbie.
Saints Row
I'm
stuff.
ready.
Don't worry.
I'm ready.
I'm
Let's talk
hyped
about
too.
this.
All right, a Digital Foundry reveal of Project Scorpio this week has confirmed a lot of long-rumored speculation about the upcoming console. Notable specs include 12 gigabytes of GDDR5 RAM, which is significant because that's 4 more gigabytes than the Xbox One, and it's way more powerful RAM. A memory bandwidth of 326 megabytes a second, that's very significant as well. And there's also going to be a vapor sort of cooling technology with the CPU and GPU. It's very similar to how high-end video cards. Yeah,
Like a gaming
Nice.
basically. And then the final thing to note is even without specific Xbox Scorpio patches, the console will run a majority of games at a higher resolution, frame rate, and overall better performance than the Xbox One.
Before
or
we
the
kick
PS4
off,
Pro, from what I understand.
Before we kick off, for those of you playing the drinking game along with me at home, Digital Foundry has just been mentioned, so raise your glasses. Drink.
I already finished my beer, but all right.
All right, we may continue.
I think that's actually a pretty stunning.
A
part
great
of this,
game.
Is that it is a good game? Is that it's amazing that Microsoft chose Digital Foundry to kind of release the news, release the specs of the Xbox Scorpio. I thought that was pretty interesting. Is instead of going to like a big gaming outlet like IGN or GameSpot, they chose somebody who's
very well respected when it comes to hardware specs and technology. Yeah. Digital Foundry is the top of that heap.
Which I think shows a little bit of pride in Microsoft's side. It's like, hey, not only do we have something that we want to show you, but we're pretty fucking positive that you want to see it. Like
we're proud of our hardware.
This thing is badass, and these guys who tell you if stuff is crappy or good, they're going to tell you it's badass too.
Well, I mean, to me, it's one of the biggest and proudest moments for me, at least this console generation, because Digital Foundry, if something is not right as far as frame rate or spec, they will tell you in a heartbeat. Everything they've said about the Xbox Scorpio, as far as the revealed specs for what this thing is actually going to be, has been very, very good and very positive. So the fact that Richard Ledbetter actually went there with Microsoft and was at this event and saw all this confirmed information lets you know that Microsoft is like, they're serious when they say this is the most powerful console of all time.
The most beautiful pixels ever.
No.
I mean, on a console.
They're winning with pixels.
PC, I mean, this is the thing, right? This is really approaching, from what we understand with the Xbox codename Scorpio, it's approaching what modern PC gaming, I guess, the top of the heap would be. When it comes to console gaming, this is completely blown out of the water, everything we've seen. But this is actually a home console that's as powerful as most modern PCs, or at least close to that. Comparable
high-end-ish PCs, yeah. It's pretty high-end, especially for console. Like, this is ridiculous.
Absolutely so they've shown a lot of pride. They've shown a lot of poise, and just going to an outlet kind of like Digital Foundry versus an IGN or a GameStop.
I mean, you mentioned that this is on par or up there with some of the best PCs. If you believe what they've said about the spec and the performance and what the components can actually do.
Do you not believe it? Just curious.
Well,
we've seen it in a tech demo.
The line. It's
can we let Gary finish his sentence, please?
What I was going to say that that's absolutely fine. The coefficient of how they've got this hardware to work and the components to work, the 6 teraflops, and I think that's why they invited Ledbetter in, was that the 6 teraflops are not indicative of what the performance will be. Nothing at 6 teraflops is doing 4K 60 frames per second at
it's
ultra
everything
settings.
Else in addition to it.
Nothing is doing that.
What we're going to be seeing is the equivalent of Xbox One graphical settings, just up-res to 4K. Or not up-res, but running at 4K, right? Okay. So
it'll be
on a
4K,
PC, those settings would be more like medium.
Okay. I mean, we've seen a screenshot of Forza, which looked...
Forza 3, oh my God.
It looked pretty good for
fantastic.
A medium.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're right.
I think that it's optimized. This software is designed to run on this particular configuration of hardware. the coefficient of what they've got out of it, when you read everything that Digital Foundry said it's comparable to possibly a 1070 or above in terms of what it's outputting.
That's pretty high.
Which is impressive.
Totally right.
That's very good. That's incredible for a console. That is
really scary
good.
power when it comes to a console. But the thing is, right, when we were looking at games like Forza 3, when it was up-res to 4K running at 60 frames per second, it was still using only 68% of the CPU and GPU power of the Scorpio. So it's capable of doing so much more than that.
They said they got that running in like 2 days, too.
Yeah, 2 days. They ported it over to the... I'm saying they ported it over within 2 days. They were able to get it at 4K native resolution, running at 60 frames per second, and with no hiccups, no issues. And we're still only using 68% of the system's GPU and CPU.
That's fucking awesome.
That's kind of scary. Awesome. And honestly, if they can get third-party developers to just do visual flourishes for the Xbox Scorpio.
Well, that's the thing, right? Is the software. As we see this one game, they've only shown us one game. It's a
right. Forza.
It's Forza. It's a Microsoft game, right?
And it's a very limited look at it.
Yeah. What I want to see is how third-party games that are multi-platform run on this thing. I want to see, you know that first-party games, like internally designed first-party games that only run on Xbox One,
are going to be insane.
Oh my God, they're going to look phenomenal, right?
No doubt.
They're going to be able to fully take advantage of this thing down to the hardware, as opposed to something that's got to also take into account the PS4 and the Xbox One, and although I would assume that any game that comes out for the Scorpio is also going to run on the Xbox One. It'll just run better and look gooder.
Yeah, it has to.
Look gooder.
Much gooder. Much gooder.
One of the 5 design columns of the Scorpio, which is smart because the PS4 didn't really have any design principles. They just said, hey, the PS4 Pro is a really solid PS4. When Phil has gone out there and said, hey, this is the Scorpio, these are the things it does, one of the pillars is to rebuild developer confidence and get exclusives back on the Xbox and get developers working for the Xbox again. So I think they're aware that this is a long-term shot. This isn't a 2017, 2018 plan. This is a plan through 2020 to get exclusives and big games back on Xbox hardware. So I think they're smart in what they're doing.
That's what they need to do to be competitive right now, because when I look at this box, I think to myself, depending on the price, I'm buying one because of what I do and because of who I am. I'm a nerd. I run a YouTube gaming channel. I'm buying one, right?
We'd love to.
When I look at this box, to me, the success of it is really going to be determined by what games they announce for it at E3, but also the price. I mean, if this thing comes out at $700, well, that's what Digital Foundries is saying, right? $500.
$500 and $700.
If this thing comes out at $700 though, like, you can get a pretty damn decent gaming PC at that price.
That could do more.
$700. I think this thing is dead.
The way the Microsoft ecosystem is working right now is most of the exclusives that come out on the Xbox also come out on PC. Plus, you have access to this whole other library of PC games.
Ooh,
to me, I mean, it's hard to justify really buying an Xbox at $700 if you could buy a PC for about that price point. No, it's not going to be a high-end PC, but you could definitely...
Let me ask you a question, Briar. Do you think that Microsoft should pull back their whole PC Xbox One initiative when it comes to the Scorpio? Because you just brought up a really valid point. A lot of people could spend probably comparable amounts of money, get a pretty decent gaming PC, and play games on a PC at Xbox One or Scorpio levels for about that price. Do you think they should move back towards console exclusivity, or do you think that the whole console PC exclusivity deal that they've got going with Windows 10 PCs?
It makes sense to me, Beastly, that they do it, but that's at a price point of like $300 for an Xbox One.
Yeah,
and the PC is $1,000 plus. Where like, hey, I got an Xbox in my living room and I got a PC up in my office, and if I buy Gears of War 4, I can play it in either place. It doesn't really matter. And both gaming experiences are good. You release an Xbox One at $700, and that price fucking thing is like, that's
dead in the water. It's that price. That's dead in the water.
To be fair, we're probably overstating the Play Anywhere initiative, because the Play Anywhere initiative is currently working on 9 games, 3 of which I'd consider to be AAA, big releases, and it's only scheduled for about another 6 games that are on release schedule. Additionally, for a Play Anywhere game to work, you have to purchase the license digitally on the Windows Store or the Xbox Store. which is the most expensive way to buy it. So I recently wanted to purchase Gears of War 4 to play it on the PC and have a Play Anywhere version. If I buy it on the Xbox One physically in my local GameStop or UK Game, it's $20 equivalent. If I buy it on the store, it's $60 equivalent still. So there's a severe premium in that.
Yeah.
You know,
so they triple the price.
Costs. Well, it's not triple. It's what it was at release.
Is the PC version only available through the Microsoft Store though?
Yes.
So that's the only way to play it on PC is to still spend $60. I don't imagine you're gonna be able to find a retail copy of that around, right?
Not on the PC. No, it wasn't ever released retail. It was released retail on the Xbox. It's not a PC game. It's accessible on the PC through Xbox Play Anywhere.
Play Anywhere Initiative Windows 10. Okay, wow.
Yeah, it's very, very limited. This isn't, hey, you can play any Xbox game. It's a subset. I think it's some of Halo, Gears of War 4, Gears of War Ultimate Edition, and then there's some of the driving games and some other things. But it's not all
Forza,
the games.
Okay. Well, I didn't know that. Thank you, Gary. Wow.
Yeah, I just don't want you guys to think it's everything.
Yeah, I was thinking it was completely wide open. You can just do it the same way you can do it through Steam. No, obviously not. Thank you. Wow.
So before we move on, Destiny, Scorpio, Briar, what are you thinking now about your Xbox character? Is this going to be your premier console, or are you still looking at the PS4 for the exclusives?
I don't see how it could be, Gary. Even if I buy an Xbox One and it's as powerful as, 2 PlayStation 4s duct taped together, the PC is still going to blow it out of the water, right?
Yeah.
So nothing Xbox can do. Right.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, I'll probably buy an Xbox. I'll buy the Xbox Scorpio, and I'll probably put a character on there solely because I want to play with other players on the Xbox, right? That's the only reason I'll be playing on the Xbox. Absolutely. But the PlayStation is still going to offer exclusive content, and the PC is still going to be the most beautiful experience, assuming that it gets a good port. It could be a bad port, and that blows out my plan altogether. Who knows?
I'm just thinking with the Scorpio, you've got a guaranteed player base, whereas the PC, you have a potential player base that's untested at the moment.
Yeah.
So at least you've got the better of the two consoles. No exclusives, but a player base.
There's no way I'm not buying this for all three, right? Like I'm buying the game on all 3 consoles.
Yeah.
So it's if I was an Xbox One player right now, and I also had a PlayStation and a PC, and I was just planning on buying 1 copy of Destiny, I would just go with where are my friends playing? Because that's really the best part about Destiny is playing with your friend.
100%.
Cool.
Or the only way to play Destiny, in my opinion. All right, Robbie, what do we got next?
Well, you guys are going to get mad at me. Do you want me to go in order of the news, or what do you want me to
do?
Just
go, Robbie. All right. Zip it up and
imagine this, Robbie. Imagine a world where we all have limited time and limited attention spans. What do you think is going to be the best story?
I don't know.
I'm thinking about it right now, Brian. This is like making the news even more juicy for me. I want to see.
We'll do it live. We will do it live, guys.
Fuck it. We'll do it live.
I'm just going to do it in order, and we'll take as much time as we want. All right, next game from Saints Row developer Volition, known as Agents of Mayhem, will be released August 15th for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And I'll say, when this game was announced last year, I did not think it looked very fun. I was not interested in it.
This is not a Saints Row game?
Well, it's a spiritual successor, kind of. It's a similar game. Now it looks a lot better, though, I have to say. It does look fun and goofy.
It looks pretty fun.
Yeah.
It looks like Saints Row now. And I think that Saints Row is one of the funnest open world kind of GTA spin-off type of genres that you can get into.
They're really fun.
It really looks like that now.
Do you not think that Saints Row is a little bit dated in its presentation, though? And I don't mean graphically. I just mean its humor.
Yeah,
I can agree. I can agree with you there. Yeah, I can agree with you there.
Black people with dildos? What's wrong with you?
Black people with dildos? What kind of racist shit?
I didn't say black people. I said people with dildos.
Oh,
whoa!
Oh my god!
Oh, somebody had this guy a Pepsi, man.
Someone heard that so wrong.
Yeah, just things like Duke Nukem, for example, that were really great games. Really
that
brash
game had a corny humor. Oh my god!
But at the time, it was really relevant. People used to, chuckle to it. It was very teenage boy humor. And then Duke Nukem Forever came out, and people were like, "God, this is shit. Like nothing's funny in it." So, do you think the sense of humor is going to mature in Volition? In
the old Duke Nukems were great. Yeah, I mean, Forever. That's what I meant. It's stupid humor. Yeah. God, I have no idea. I mean, I also think that August 15th is a good release time frame for this game because nothing else that I really know of is coming out in August, and that's good, get away from the big games in October, November. So it could be cool. I mean, I'm looking forward to it because it's the Saints Row guys. I don't know.
Well, I guess we'll just see what happens when it actually comes out. I'm neither here nor there.
I got a lot of anticipation going right now.
Yeah, I know.
Can't honestly say I give
like a fairy flying around your head. Yeah, all right. What do we got next, Robbie?
All right. Earlier this week, Marvel Vice President Ryan Penagos stated that Insomniac Games' Spider-Man for PS4 would be released by the end of this year. This was later commented on by Insomniac Games, stating that, quote, "No release timeframe has been announced at this time," end quote. So this basically means it could come out at the end of 2017. They're saying we haven't announced a date, though.
So the news here is we don't know when Spider-Man is coming out.
Basically, contradicts itself.
Beastly Thoughts episode 150, just so you remember. So when you go back and say, we're at episode 500 now. I remember 150 was the one where they didn't know what was going on with the Spider-Man game. That was 150.
We're coming out in 2017. Insomniac's like, no, we're not. Shut up. Why did you say that?
Yeah, I think it is. We're going to see it this year.
It's coming out this year. It's going to come out probably within 60 days of the movie.
I can imagine with the movie, right? They can't not miss that.
It's going to be right around then.
I want that game. I want that game to come out. Spider-Man games can be really fun. That one looks really cool.
And I love Insomniac too. I think this will be good. This will be good.
I think. Did you ever play Windlands, Briar, in VR? Windlands?
No. Oh, maybe I did. Is that PS4?
Ooh. PS4 and Oculus and
I think I did. Yeah.
5. So you've got Spider-Man sort of powers. That's the only reason I bring it up is you're shooting grappling hooks and webs and swinging. Try it out if you really want the fantasy of Spider-Man.
Gary?
Windlands, one word.
Windlands, okay, because Briar excited me. He said, no. Oh, I was like, I got to try that shit. All right.
It's super cheap, but try it out. If you really want the Spider-Man fantasy and you can't
it is on PS4, I think.
But it is PS4 and it's Vive, but you don't get the Move controllers on PS4. It's controller-based, but yeah, try it out.
All right, Robbie, what do you got next?
Sorry, something was distracting me. Sega.
Stop watching porn on your side. I thought they discontinued the Snap. Didn't Xbox discontinue Snap? You can't have snapped ass in the corner. We're doing a live show. Come on.
I'm just going to ignore you now. Unbelievable. Okay. Sega has released a countdown timer this week for a reveal of something Bayonetta.
Bayonetta.
It is unknown at this time whether the countdown will reveal a brand new game or a rumored port for Bayonetta 2 on other platforms. Which would be really cool, man. Bayonetta 3, maybe?
I feel like a countdown timer should not be a port. Is it a port? You think it's a port?
It's got to be a port. The Wii U. How many people played it on the Wii U? About 3. And if you look at it as well,
I was one of the 3.
There you go. Beastly's one of the 3.
And it was the greatest experience of that year because, Gary, it was my fucking game of the year. Okay? Bayonetta 2 was my game of
the resolution was poor. It looked like the 360 version.
You know what? You're a cup half empty guy. I'm a cup half fucking full. And it was amazing.
I love the game, but let it have the hardware that it deserves.
It was a video game orgasm from another planet. It was amazing. Just tell the truth.
I think let it play on the PS4 and Xbox One. Let it have the hardware it deserves.
Oh, God. If that happened, I would lose my mind.
Yeah.
Briar, I still need to sing you that game. I really have to sing you Bayonetta 2. It's totally amazing. But
I did Wii U shit game. What the fuck's going on over
here? God damn it, Briar.
Shit, because it's on Wii U.
Fucking Wii U hand-me-downs? What's going on here? Last gen.
That was the main reason I didn't play it, was because I was like, I just don't care about the Wii U. Like, I really just don't.
I couldn't find my Wii U. It was in the basement.
Robbie, you bought The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild on the Wii U, so take that
because that was Zelda. There was no way I wasn't going to play that.
I think that this could possibly be a PC port of the original Bayonetta. It's never come out on PC. I think that's what this is all about.
That would be really disappointing for a countdown.
I think that's what it is. I went to Steam after this news and I downloaded the little 8-bit Bayonetta game. It's like a Mario type of experience. You're Bayonetta. You're shooting people with little projectiles.
For April Fools.
I downloaded it. It was kind of fun. I played it for about 10 minutes. But I think it's really just a port. If they come out with news, Sega comes out with news, and it's like a Bayonetta 3, I think the whole world's going to stop. Because at this point in my life, Bayonetta is a huge franchise. I can't wait to see what they do with it next.
Yeah, totally.
All right,
hopefully it's not just a port, though. That would be kind of disappointing to me.
I think that's what's going to happen. We'll see what happens, though. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Robbie, what's our next story?
Totally, yeah. So if you guys remember back in, I want to say it was 2015, Activision Blizzard announced they were making a movie studio and they were going to make a Call of Duty film. Well, Activision Blizzard is currently developing a Marvel-style cinematic universe for the Call of Duty franchise with multiple films already in the works. Is this going to be any good, or are these just going to suck?
Who fucking cares? Call of Duty is not about character development. Not anymore, anyway. It's not about a story. It's about shooting people online.
It's weird. I don't know how to feel about this. It's.
Do you know, I don't know. I'd probably take a different view on that. So the games are completely about shooting people online, and I think the worst games to films have been when they've tried to take the game and recreate the game in a cinematic experience. If they take the essence of Call of Duty, which is big epic set piece battles, war with squads and characters that you should care about, and put that into a cinematic universe, I think something like that could be powerful. Look at Band of Brothers or something of that nature, especially if they tie this up.
What if instead of making it called Call of Duty, they just call it Band of Brothers?
Oh, why don't they?
That wouldn't work, Brian.
Or they could call it Black Hawk Down. Or I mean, they could put any name on these movies because you're not going to be able to recognize it as Call of Duty. Like what could be in these movies? What could be in these movies that you would recognize? Oh, that's fucking Call of Duty.
Nothing, but Call of Duty gets you to the cinema and puts you in the theater seat.
Not me.
So that's just name.
Yeah, I think it's the name is a big part of it.
I mean, that's really a test that hasn't really been given. How many people will go to the movie theater just because there's a name Call of Duty on, on
5 years ago, definitely. Now,
yeah.
All right,
now,
what's the last video game movie you went and saw in a theater?
Fuck,
I've never.
I didn't see Assassin's Creed because I felt it in my heart it would be shit. Honestly, Mortal Kombat. That was the last one I went and saw.
The original, like back in the 90s.
Oh,
yes.
I remember the last one I saw was a year ago, the Ratchet and Clank movie, and that was really underwhelming. It was okay.
Yeah, I saw Mortal Kombat years ago, and I turned my dad into a Mortal Kombat fan. He played against his ex-wife, and they both learned Liu Kang's fatality.
What was the last video game movie you saw in the theater?
I don't go to the theater much, but I think maybe Tomb Raider, one of the Tomb Raider movies, possibly. I don't know.
I could see. You know what? What if they brought in the original Modern Warfare characters, like Ghost and like those really iconic characters,
and Soap and Captain Price?
Yeah, they can do that maybe.
Yeah, those guys are iconic. Absolutely. Yep.
Or if they took it the other way and made it more human, made it more grounded and realistic, and you looked at Call of Duty characters, that the after effects of it, and them reliving the battles they've been through, sort of PTSD story potentially. I mean, I don't know. There's lots of different ways you could cut it. Something that isn't just.
B-Kirk in the chat is saying, "Are we all forgetting about the Mario film?" No, we wanted to forget about that one.
Hoskins.
What? No, that is classic cinema, man.
I've never seen it, but obviously I've just.
You've never seen it, Robbie? Oh, you got it.
Awful. No, I gotta see it though. I want to.
It's like so fucking bad. It goes. You know how sometimes something can be so shitty that it actually becomes entertaining due to its pure fucking raw sewage. Like Sharknado, I think is a perfect example of this. It's so bad that it just like it flips around and like it becomes fun to watch just because it's crappy. Street Fighter also a good example of this.
Terrible. Yeah.
There's entire documentaries that have been made on how bad the Super Mario movies were. The pre-production, behind the scenes, the actors used to do shots just before they go onto their lines to get through that scene. So they have to go on and just down.
I remember hearing it was such a nightmare filming it. Yeah, it was just awful. Yeah, I want to see it, definitely.
They'd rewrite the morning before the set and go, guys, the lines you've just learned, forget them. Here's some new ones. So it's just like, don't worry.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't know this. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
there was a Bob Hoskins interview that he did years later, I think 18 years after the movie. I mean, rest in peace, Bob, now. But it says to him, "Is there anything in your life that you regret?" And he said, "The Mario movie." "Is there anything in your life you'd change?" "The Mario movie."
He said that he went to heaven. He went straight to heaven when he said that. Oh
all
my
the way
God.
through. Yeah, it stuck
That's
with him.
horrible.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy.
All right, Robbie, what do we got next?
All right, Legend of Zelda producer Eiji Aonuma, I hope I said that right, has suggested this week that the open world structure found in Breath of the Wild will be the standard formula for the series going forward. Not a huge surprise because people love that game. Absolutely love it. We all do. But well, people would think I don't, but I do. I do.
You fucking hate Zelda. Anyway,
apparently.
I think that it goes back to its roots. When you go back to Zelda 1, on Super Nintendo, A Link to the Past, it was an open world game. It just looked different. It was a different kind of experience, but it really was an open world type of game. And I think that they're kind of going back to their roots, but in a new genre, a new generation with new hardware, and it just appears different. But I think that Zelda is kind of back to its roots now. That's my opinion. What do you guys think?
I mean, clearly people like this formula, so be dumb to ditch it right away, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think this Zelda is probably one of the best I've ever played. It's really incredible.
The mileage is infinite on that game. So there's been talk about all the ways that Zelda had failings, all the areas they could have expanded more on, the fact there wasn't enough differentiation in the shrines, the dungeons, the world was a little bit too generic. There was too much expanse with not enough to explore or to do. There's been critiques that have been leveled against them. So I think there's the ability to refine all of those things that they could do. Or building on that, there's the ability for online co-op or a Dark Souls style world where you can invade other people's game. There's lots of different things you can do in an open world game.
Well, let me just say this, Gary. Hindsight's 20/20, right? I remember when you first started playing this game, when Briar first started playing this game, it was nothing but high praise. Of course, when you look back at a game and you compare it with everything that exists, you can find little areas that can be improved. That's probably going to happen.
Sometimes a game is so good that you can respect its faults. You can see the faults, and they can be pointed out to you, and you just don't give a shit. Like, it's just so fucking good. You know what I'm saying?
Briar,
and Zelda is
just
one of those
drop
games.
the mic right now. Drop the mic. Where's the mic?
Like, the way that systems all interact in that game, and the way you just feel like you're exploring, like the combat is wonderful.
It's very special. It's a very special experience. And not
you can
just
bitch
that.
about the frame rates. You can bitch about all sorts of different problems in that game because there are problems in it. But I mean, what ultimately they did make
it's a very
something
special
magical.
experience, yeah. And not just that, Briar, right? Playing The Legend of Zelda, I can say without a doubt at this point, after putting probably close to 20 hours in, it's a better game than Horizon. And when I was playing Horizon, I was like, there's no way that The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild will be better than this. After playing it, and I'm not even close to even being complete and done with the game. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt it's a better game. It's a better experience overall. It might not look the same. It might not have the same visual aesthetic, right? But I think that what they've done here is so special and so unique that when you look at it as a complete package, there's very few games that can stand up to it. There's very few experiences that can stand up to what they've done with this type of game.
Completely. It's my game of the generation. The reason that I brought up, I guess, the flaws that have been pointed out was that I agree with Eiji Aonuma that there's still lots and lots of mileage in this open world aspect. They shouldn't just ditch it after one game and try. There's lots of areas they can innovate and create something that's still open world but feels very unique to that new game. So it makes sense to still do it.
And not just that, though, Briar or Gary or Robbie. The fact that the game in itself is so expansive and so special, it becomes more special when you can take it from the TV on the go. There's really no other game that's this prestigious that you can just take from your TV and boom, all of a sudden it's in the palm of your hand.
Not for us Wii U owners.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I'm sorry, Robbie.
It's okay.
But for the people who play it on the Switch, that's a very special thing to get to a certain point, to get to a boss, and then you pause the game and you grab it out of the dock. You go into your bedroom. Your wife is watching, Fox News or Lifetime, and you're next to her and you're continuing on from that point. It's a very special thing that not many times have I ever experienced. And that makes a game so prestigious even better, in my opinion. The fact that you can take it on the go. I think Nintendo is like really on cloud 9 with the game, not just so much with the game, but with the Switch experience in general. I think it's really, really special.
It reminded me of a... Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Gary. What's that?
No, I was saying Beastly ignited something on me there, talking about games on the go that I've noticed with the Switch, more broadly, forgetting Zelda for a moment, is that aspect of taking it on the go, I noticed in my tablet, and I've also noticed on the Switch, I'm playing games that I wouldn't play on my PlayStation 4, or I wouldn't play anywhere else, simply because of the mobile aspect. It's almost, something like Fire Emblem Heroes or Pokemon Go, I'd never ever play on the PS4. I probably wouldn't have played Snake Pass, the game that I spoke around on the Switch, or World of Goo. I wouldn't sit down and buy that on the PS4, but I've got them both on the Switch, and I play them all the time because it's something I can pick up and play. I think the Switch and the Shield tablet, they're both ingenious in the fact that they make me want to play mobile games, different genres, that I just wouldn't play on a traditional console. I don't know if you guys have had that same experience.
Is it because it's a secondary experience to something else you're doing? Like you're not just focused on the console?
Partly that, yeah. I mean, I've been doing it while the other half's been watching TV, and like you say, I'm not 100% invested in the show she's watching, or just that if I'm playing something on the train, I don't want something that's really, really immersive and deep. I might be happy with a short puzzle game that I can just pick up and play between stops. And it's something that if I was sitting down here in front of my monitor or my 4K thing, I almost feel like I don't really want to be playing Stardew Valley, which is what I've been playing on my tablet and absolutely loving, which is almost like an Animal Crossing or Farmville style game. I wouldn't play that on a big screen. But on a tablet or a portable, it suddenly becomes something that I'm really enjoying, and I'm laying back on the sofa and I'm
kind of invested in.
Yeah, a lot more. And the Switch hits that sweet spot of being a console that gets me playing these indie games and these games that I just wouldn't touch on a traditional console. And I don't know if it's just me. I just wanted to put that out and see if you guys.
I have a similar experience with games like that. I can't remember the game it was on iPad, but it was like one of those tower defense games where you gotta, I would have never played that game on a PS4 had it come out. I would have never played it on a computer. But because I was sitting on the couch, half paying attention to a television show, and could easily pause that game, it was just fine to have. It was just.
Yep.
It's nice to have
I'm hearing a lot of speculation out there. This is not our news, but they're saying that the Nintendo Switch is going to be as popular as the Nintendo Wii. Do you guys think this is possible? I know a lot of people have been buying this thing.
I highly doubt that.
I mean, it's sold out. You can't really find it anywhere. How can we really say you doubt it when you can't really find it?
It just came out, though. Like, it has not been out long. And, the Wii was a runaway success.
What do you hope, Briar? What do you hope?
I hope that... I don't really care if it sells as much initially as the Wii, but I hope that it sells into the future better than the Wii did, and that third-party games sell on it. That games, it has an attach rate for games, because the thing with Wii U is it had Wii Sports. That's what everybody played, and then
that's the only thing
got shoved into a drawer and never seen again.
Yeah.
You're right, Briar. I mean, I think this thing has more of a possibility, because it has a possibility for third-party games. It has a possibility for great first-party games. It has more power than the Wii or the Wii U ever had. I think it's a great. I mean, honestly, man, I didn't even want to tell you guys. I dropped my Nintendo Switch last weekend, and it fell off of my dresser. And the controller popped off, and I was like, "Holy shit!" I picked it up, I put the controller back on, but now the controller just kind of slides off without you pushing the button in the back. I was like, "Oh no!" I mean, I was at work, like looking online, what could I do? How can I fix this? And then I did a little bit of research. The way Nintendo made the Switch is that the screen has metal on the side, and the controllers are plastic. So the controllers, if they get screwed up or something bad happens to them, you can replace them. The only time you ever have to replace the actual console is if the screen breaks or completely gets destroyed. So I was like, wow, I can just buy another cheap controller for $30 or $40.
Cheap?
They're not cheap. The Joy-Cons are
controller.
Not cheap. Absolutely not.
You really are rolling it over there, Beastly.
Beastly. Check the local.
The YouTube channel has been blowing up, guys. Okay.
You're not paid by them, are you?
Just check the local gas station, see if anyone's got any Joy-Cons in their coat.
Yeah, shady guy in the back. You got any Joy-Cons I could take in my truck?
I'm going to get some gas. The guy just pops open. You know, hey, I got that.
It is. I actually think that's a design flaw, Beast.
Hey, you want some Joy-Cons?
The problem is it's got a metal rail on it, but there's like a pin that holds the Joy-Con on. That's just made out of very fragile plastic.
And that's
so it shears off, and then there's no way
that's
to really.
Exactly what happened to me.
Yeah.
And so, like, my Joy-Con just slides right off, and I was like, no. And so I took it to work, and my wife didn't know because my wife, she bought it for me for my birthday. I didn't want to say, hey, look, it's my birthday. I turned 600 years old. I don't want you to know that I fucking dropped this shit. And I told her the next day, she's like, oh my God. I said, well, it's no problem. I'll just spend $60 to buy.
There has been another hardware failure that's been popping up with the Switches that they're actually warping.
Seriously?
Yeah, they're warping.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. Is that real?
Well, I was gonna keep talking about it.
I'm sorry.
No problem. If you play them in the dock quite a bit, apparently there's enough heat in there and there's enough pressure, like a bending force of pressure, that the machine can actually warp it. And since it's got a plastic screen, there's no real
that's not good.
Nothing really rigid holding it in shape. So if it gets hot from sitting in that dock, apparently it can just start warping. I don't know how widespread this is at this point, but I've been seeing quite a few pictures on Reddit and stuff about it.
Yeah. The reports are that there's.
I heard there's only like 2 or 3. Really?
Yeah, the reports, unless you've seen more, Briar, with 3 people, and one of the guys has been keeping Reddit updated with posts. So he contacted Nintendo and told them and sent the pictures. Nintendo have asked him to return the console. And the last update that he had is that they're repairing it, and in addition to repairing it, they're transferring all of his data onto the, because apparently they can. So Nintendo have the ability to transfer data onto a console if it's repaired.
Yeah, we don't.
But we don't. So that they must be doing a hardware swap or a hard drive swap. I don't know what it is, but it's just worth noting, if anyone who's listened to the show is got a bendy switch, get in touch with Nintendo.
A bendy switch. I love that.
Apparently they are honouring the manufacturer's warranty and actually working to get them replaced. So.
Wow.
Shit.
Have you guys had any of these kind of issues with your Switches?
I don't have a Switch. No. I wish I could whip my Switch out, but I don't.
I haven't had any hardware issues with my Switch. I'll be honest with you, though. I play with the Pro Controller. It sits in the dock. I very rarely take it out.
So no warping for you at all?
No.
Okay. Well, it seems like it's probably an issue that's minute.
I've probably played 20 hours on the thing so far, too. It's not like...
And again, because of the internet, it could be like, this might be a very minor problem that doesn't happen to many people, but it just seems so much more widespread than it is.
It could be, like a one-off, but I mean...
It's still out there, though.
There have been numerous hardware problems with the Switch early on.
Especially over time. Who knows? Like a year or 2 in, maybe it'll come up even more. You never know.
The Red Ring of Death started off with a few people.
It sure did.
That became huge.
And then everybody else had it like immediately afterwards.
Oh, the Scorpio, though. How hot is that thing going to get?
They have that. No, they got that vape cooling. They're good. They got that vape.
Right?
They got that Vape Nation in it.
Vape Nation?
Yeah. That's that technology in the Scorpio.
I feel a little underpowered right now, Briar. Looking at your green screen and mine, I feel like you're more of the Incredible Hulk than I am. I just don't feel right. Your green is more green than mine. God damn it.
My blacks are blacker. My whites are whiter.
God damn it.
Blacks are blacker. Oh, no.
I am black. What kind of shit is this?
Don't worry, you're plenty white, Beasley.
There's one story that I didn't see in the news as well, which I'm trying to desperately get in before we drop the call.
What was that?
Mass Effect Andromeda facial fixes.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It was in our comment section in the Twitch chat. A lot of people were asking about this, Gary, and they were asking specifically if you had heard about this and if it actually changed the game and made it better. So please elaborate for some of the people who've been watching for us.
Yeah, so it's actually the update that Robbie detailed last week. I guess the proposed update that was going to happen.
Yeah.
BioWare were very ambiguous in what they said. They said it was kind of like, I guess, eye improvements and general conversational improvements. Mm-hmm. They fixed some other things, some certain guns that weren't performing and some inventory space. But the biggest change, and the thing you've seen lots of comparative videos on, is the facial animations, the makeup, and the eyes on the characters, which is something you think is really trivial. It's only on the humans and the Asari, but it's really, really pronounced and
really,
Yeah, so the glazed over China doll look that the characters had, people have tracked it down to mostly being in the eyes. The fact that the eyes had no expression and were completely painted on and had no depth, that's kind of creepy, basically. But yeah, the eye improvements have really made significant difference. And the most horrendous offenders, the things that have been memed the most, so the Admiral at the start with the tired face, that's been completely reanimated. So the guys have gone back in and that entire sequence has been changed to make it more emotive, more immersive. I'd say that there are steps towards the game being a final release. So the early access is going really, really well so far.
That's what it is, really.
Yeah.
The early access. All right.
Really looking forward to playing the finished version of this summer for sure.
Definitely.
Hey, Briar, we have a deal, right? We made this deal last week. We're going to buy this game when the full release hits the market.
Yeah, version
together.
1.7
version
or something.
1.89.
I am looking forward to playing this. Like,
I really want to. Mass
there
Effect's
was an
amazing.
initial kind of like, oh my god, this game is nowhere near as good as we had hoped. But it seems like the longer it goes, there are fans of this game saying, like, yeah, I really like this game. I'm really having fun with this game. I'm locked into this game, putting a lot of hours into it.
It's a little depressing though, right? I'm a huge Mass Effect fan. I don't know if you guys know that. I mean, I'm a real fan. I played all 3 of the original games. I love them. I have really no negative critiques other than the fact that part 3 just sucked with the end of the game. I'm like, why did I spend 90 hours to get here?
Yeah.
But I really, really hope that Andromeda can kind of pull me back in. I see it's kind of on both sides of the fence. A lot of people hate the game. A lot of people love the game. And I'm hoping that I'm really a huge fan, big enough of a fan, that I absolutely love the game, rather than be one of the people who say, well, Mass Effect is over, I never play it again, like a lot of people who've been playing this game.
I was enjoying it, and the biggest thing that for me has made the game really great fun is my tablet. Possibly just because I'm playing it on a new platform, and Zelda was great playing it on a new platform being the Switch. But the fact I can take Mass Effect to the sofa or to bed with me, lay there and just put in an hour and get really immersed in the story and get deep and not have to sit there and worry about being rigid up in front of a computer because I'm playing PC. It's really good. I'm really enjoying it. I'm saying, Briar, if you do get the Shield tab, it's a perfect platform to play something like Mass Effect, where it's an adventure you can get lost in.
I'll add it to my Gary shopping list.
I do apologize.
Gary,
you're right next to the
Gary,
Zen 4.
how much money? Gary, I've known Briar for years, but never ever heard Briar say, hey, Beastly, I'm spending 800, 600, 800 next week because Gary, you know what? I don't know what business you're in.
Gary, is it the voice? What happened? Like, how did you make him do all this?
He's like a heroin dealer, you know? Like,
just gives you the good stuff.
Really
God damn the pusher man.
That's scary.
What I do is I I get Briar on these shows and I show him the toy and I let him talk about it, and then that's it. You know? It's just like we'll go for the Switch next. We just put things in front of him. No, it's
he puts it in front. He just waves it in front of your face, Briar, and you go, "Wow, pretty!" And all of a sudden, you just have to buy it.
Gary says it's great. He's got a nice voice. I might as well go buy one.
Jokes aside, we're very similar. We're very similar in our attitude towards technology. We're both big kids at heart, and both.
I am too. I'm not a PC gamer.
Yeah,
I feel so long.
Young and broke.
Like I'm being left out here. Okay, I'm not broke. Okay, I do what I need to do. Right, I got 5 kids. Yeah, they take a little bit of my money. Ramen noodles for everybody, but I still buy my fucking games, and I still do what I need to do. Yeah, you know what? They can get shrimp, chicken, beef, whatever the fuck they want. But the point is this: I buy the games I want, but I'm not a PC player. I just can't. It's really hard for me. I got big hulking hands. The WASD I can't do, and so I feel like I'm left behind by people like
tough, man.
Yes, Gary and Briar. I'm left behind. I mean,
you use a controller on a PC.
I use the controller. I use the controller on this all the time.
I haven't done it yet, and so when I hear you guys talk about PC, I'm like, I'm just so left behind. Just hold the door open for the Beastly Gamer. I'll join you guys. I promise.
I'll join when I got a good enough PC.
You know, my wife might need to buy Formula, and I'll say, hey, look, you know what, chick, I got to buy this virtual reality headset.
I'm sorry. Might be breastfeeding this one a little longer, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I love you. I love
Let me get a couple of the other kids back on that shit.
Yes.
You're prioritizing all wrong. You see, you're feeding your family first and buying tech second. You see, that's where you've got to switch that around. Switch that around.
I see where he's gone wrong. Yeah.
Yes. And you know what, Gary? I swear to you, now I finally understand. She says, "Babe, we need a little bit." I said, "Hold on, I'm going to buy this first, and then we're going to talk about it."
If she's hungry, she'll find food somewhere. Don't worry.
Yeah, you're so right, Gary. Thank you so much.
We don't want to know where, but somewhere.
Hey, that's not my problem. We're going to talk about this afterwards.
It's difficult to care with a VR headset on. You can't see or hear them.
Right? Imagine it, right, guys? Imagine this. You're in space, right? You're on Mars. You're like, "Oh, these rocks look amazing." And you hear someone say, "This baby's hungry." And you say, "That's not the world I'm in."
Hey, no babies in this world. It's fine.
Yeah, there's no babies here. A baby can't live here.
Yeah, it's like when Scorpio comes out, ramen noodles for all you kids. That's all you're
You
going to be.
got that right.
You know, I am wondering about the Scorpio too. Is what the VR solution is going to be, because that thing is going to be more than powerful enough to run VR. So
it's going to have an Oculus Rift type of VR experience.
I'm wondering if they're going to just bring the Oculus Rift over, like just.
I think that's what they're going to do.
They will.
Or
I think they will.
Or the Steam VR, or if they'll have their own solution. I think it's going to be the Rift. Though.
I think the fact
it's interesting
because
I think it's a Rift too, Brian. I 100% agree with you.
The Rift was originally detailed as part of the website for the Scorpio. So the Oculus Rift was up there when they were talking VR ready. They had the Rift branding, because it's obviously affiliated through it, and they've got the Microsoft controller bundled in with the Rift. So there's
I was going to bring up that point. They have an Xbox One controller with every Rift, so that seems like an obvious one to me.
It's been stripped out potentially because the Rift is still going through early hardware development. So the version of the Rift that we've got at the moment is not really suitable for living room usage. You've got the touch controllers now, which is a step in the right direction, but the next headset being, I guess, wireless and possibly having better lighthouse tracking, very similar to what the
I would like to see
HTC's
them figure out a better solution. Like, it works once you get it all set up, but I don't like the fact that you have to have so many USB ports that thing working. It's very demanding on a PC, not just on the hardware, but like you have to have a lot of very
totally true.
A lot of USB ports that have their own controllers.
I think you and I are beta testers in the VR generation. We're having fun with it, but in 3 years' time, potentially you'll see the Scorpio VR be a future Oculus.
Yeah, they definitely need higher resolution on the lenses too. Place.
That's going to be version 2.
Yeah, the version 2 is going to be dope. Have you guys seen the LG headset that they've been showing?
No.
It's very cool. That? It's going to be like a Vive compatible, like a Steam compatible headset. Slightly higher resolution, I believe, than the Vive, but it works similar to the PSVR, where it's like it's like a hard, almost helmet kind of thing that sits on top of your head.
Really?
Yeah, like a ring, like a hard ring, and then the goggles are on a hinge, so they just like go up,
pop up on the ring.
Yeah, so it's really convenient because I don't know, when you're in VR and all of a sudden you want to like go grab your beer or you want to type something on your keyboard or something like that, you have to be like, like doing that.
Yeah.
So it's a nice design.
Really?
Nice design.
The Pi, made by a Chinese company, Pi up with the symbol and then an eye. That's a 4K headset that's currently out at the moment, but it looks great. Everything I've seen review-wise says that the display's great, but just everything else around the headset is very cheap parts, just made so they can achieve that headline 4K display. But if you're watching 4K 360 video, it's pretty impressive. But yeah, there's other stuff out there, Briar, as you say.
4K will be nice. It'll be nice to get a higher resolution in those headsets.
Yeah.
In wireless, like you were saying earlier. That's right around the corner, though. Are those even out yet? Have they happened?
Wireless versions?
There's production, there's testing for the Vive ones, and there's also the Vive tracker unit where that's been released. I think 10,000 units.
Mostly mobile. That's wireless.
No, Robbie. Actually, what they're doing is they're where the wires plug into the headsets. They're making these little boxes that are wireless. Like wireless HDMI, basically.
Yeah, that's good.
So you're going to wear this wireless box and then put so instead of having the wires tethering you to your PC, you'll be completely wireless.
Got you.
It's going to be an upgrade to the current headsets, both the Oculus and the Vive. And the Vive, like Gary just said, they just released a tracker which you can screw on to basically anything you want. So you can put it on your ankles, and it could do foot tracking. You could put it on your keyboard, so you always know where your keyboard is. You can put it on your beer, so you always know where your beer is. You
oh,
put it on a
hey.
gun.
I like
Where
that.
your beard, Robbie? Put it on
And
your
this
beard.
is so
You can put it on a
accurate.
gun, so that like when you pick up the gun, it accurately tracks the gun.
And bro, this is so accurate. There's a video out of one of the guys who built it, and he screwed it onto 3 juggling balls. And in VR, in the headset, it's 1-to-1 time that he can juggle the 3 of them, just using the in-screen display. So there's no
That's
latency
next
whatsoever.
level right there.
Yeah,
That's
it's really
that's
impressive
crazy.
tracking. HTC have cracked the tracking. It's really good.
Wow. Insane.
Yeah. And Farpoint is coming out soon, right? When is that coming out?
And that comes with the gun.
May 5th, I think. May 10th. I've got it pre-ordered with the gun, so
Yeah, so
we'll
less than a month
review
away.
that as soon as it comes out.
Yeah, I haven't pre-ordered yet. I better go do that because I bet that could
Yeah,
sell out.
Briar, me neither. And that's one game I need to pre-order. Man, I'm going to let you know now.
Not me. No PSVR here. Wah, wah, wah.
Well, it's co-op, so maybe 3 of us could make a fire team. You never know.
Yes, yes.
Yes!
And I'm gonna miss this.
That
No.
and you know
Thank
what else
you.
we got to play? That's also coming right around the horizon is the Star Trek Bridge Crew.
Oh,
which
I can't
am
wait.
Really
I'm
looking
such-
forward to.
I am
Robbie,
truly a Trekkie.
Robbie, you got to get
That's
your
fun.
PSVR set up, man.
Come on, Robbie.
Give me one
Stop
of these
fucking
things.
around
Oh.
in Canada, man.
Yeah. what
Stop
the fuck's
hanging
going
around
on
gas
up there?
stations.
What are you
Just
shoveling
hanging around
snow all
Canadian
day?
gas stations. It's fine.
Gas station.
Yeah, because
No.
I don't know.
It's May 16th, guys.
I will think
Oh,
about
mate.
it.
I can't
May
wait
16th for Bridge
Yeah.
Crew?
Farpoint.
For Farpoint. Okay.
I'm sorry, it's hard at my age to afford all this damn stuff, man. I got other stuff to pay for. It's tough.
Yeah, you gotta start looking at your career options.
And
Maybe
you
hooking
gotta
is
look
the
at
right
your
move for you.
priorities, Robbie.
You know?
This is priority, man.
Yeah.
You know, if you got a starving baby and you got Farpoint pre-order,
Hmm.
I mean, is there even really a thought?
I mean, the baby's got to learn to take care of himself eventually.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're only going to cry for so
Pre-order.
long.
Yeah, eventually they'll quiet down.
Oh my god.
But
I
PSVR will
hope
last
so.
forever. Those
You
memories
got
don't go
that
away.
right. As long as you pay your electric bill, boom. Come on.
You're good.
Oh
You're good.
man.
I'm
But
going
we
to
have
hell.
this-
I'm going straight to hell.
Oh, DJ's in chat asking about Rock Band VR. You didn't happen to get Rock Band VR, did you, Gary?
I didn't because it's not something that massively interests me, but I have watched a lot of different.
Would you like to elaborate?
videos on it.
Because DJ really wants to know about it. Anything you might know that you could possibly share?
So Rock Band VR is effectively you can screw the tracking device that comes with your Oculus Touches onto a Rock Band guitar accessory. It's not the same Guitar Hero or Rock Band that you would have played on where you can see what you're pressing. So they've had to simplify it to turn it into chord based. So there's 4 different chords that you can play. The element, I guess the point of the game is that there's 10 different venues that you can select. And there's about 50 tracks with DLC tracks that you can buy. And the point is that you can choose to be either like a small indie band playing a sweaty nightclub or a stadium rocker. And you get the perspective of, hey, I'm playing the guitar and the audience is out in front of me, as opposed to watching the band when you play it in a different way. The critiques that I've seen, and I've not played it, so this is coming just purely from me having an interest in VR, is that no matter how bad you play, it's a pre-recorded video. So the crowd will still cheer if you press one note for the entire song. It's really just to live the fantasy. The score at the end will tell you if you've done well or not. The audience reaction won't. So if you're a big fan of rock music and you've wanted to be a guitarist your whole life and it's your dream and you can finally live it this way, I'm sure you'll love it. Me personally, I appreciate some people love it. It's probably not my jam, so I've not picked it up.
What, rock music?
No,
Hey,
being the guitarist, I'd love to go and watch it. I'd like to be in the audience watching them, but I've got no burning desire to be up on stage performing. It's just, not my bag. But it looks good. If you guys are
If
interested
you
in it,
follow
I can
Gary
try it
on
out.
Twitter, then you know he's not trying to be a rock star. He's a real thug. He likes fucking shit up.
He said
So,
dog.
Just let him
That's
see
way
what
too
he.
nice. No.
Let him follow his dream.
Yeah, but that's it. I mean, this week, I don't know if you guys want to give indications to the audience of what we're going to be playing this week, if they want to play along and try things out. Because this week I've got Persona 5 on the menu. That's definitely going to be played. There's going to be some more VR. I've seen there's a really great Viking looking game that's just released on the PSVR that's been out on Steam for a year. And I tend to try to avoid just covering the PC VR stuff because I want to try to get the ones that are multi-plat. So I'll be trying that out. I think it's $10 at the moment. It's a 2-hour experience. I'll be picking that up.
I'll buy that.
So that'll be there. So Persona, that in VR, and I maybe will be playing Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 1, 2, and 3 because I picked them up for the PC.
I've been burned by Hyperdimension Neptunia for so long. It's so hard for me to get back into that.
So I'll be picking them up.
It's so scary to get back into that world. Oh my God.
Passing them
out. I'll do it if you do it. All right.
Hyperdimension. I've already put 10 hours in, so I'm kind of
it's so scary. You know, it's really hard for me. I'm a big black guy jumping into that world. It's kind of scary. But I'll do it if you do it, Gary. Guaranteed.
Do it together, brother. Solidarity.
Blood brothers.
Pepsi. It was Pepsi.
And do you guys have any special plans that people might want to play alongside?
Yeah, it's all about Iron Banner. I'll be streaming Iron Banner this weekend in Destiny. Iron Banner, and obviously King's Fall will be the raid starting on Tuesday. So we'll be doing King's Fall viewer runs. We'll be doing Iron Banner with viewers. We're going to have a lot of fun.
Awesome. And you'll be streaming all of that, will you, Brian?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fantastic. I'll be getting involved.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Basically, Robbie, you guys got anything planned or just whatever the week takes you?
Well, I made about 200 videos over the weekend, so it'll be coming up all this week. So you guys just stay tuned to the BC Gamer YouTube channel, and you'll see what I've done. It's been really difficult having a family of 400 children, but it's been something.
You do have 400 now, don't you?
398, but it's really close.
That high? Oh,
Yeah.
Where did all the births come from? Holy hell.
Lots of sex and a woman who doesn't give up. But
Baby's just popping out of the chest, yeah.
I mean, it's like the
Or
Alien
other
movie.
way.
She goes, "Babe, I think I got a cold." I go, "Really?" She goes, "Oh," and it's a baby. I'm like, "Holy shit!"
Babies just pop out.
You know.
Yep. That's how it works. That's how pregnancy works.
And so definitely follow the BC Gamer channel, and you'll see everything I got planned for this week. I love you guys. Thank you all so much for watching the BC Thoughts live show this week. Thank you all so much.
All right, guys, have an awesome weekend, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Babies just popping out everywhere.
Not